Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Sinta Alizia Kianti. So I made this video is for make a presentation video. Is for complete my assignment in methodology in TESOL courses. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get to the material. Okay, in this chapter actually have 8 points. For the first point is reason for listening. Okay, so more people want to be able to understand what people say in English, either face to face, on TV or on the radio, in theaters and cinema, or on tapes, CD or other recorded media. This is especially important because the way people speak is often significantly different from their right. Listening is good for student pronunciation. They can increase their pronunciation skills with doing more listening activities, such as listen music or watch movie. In that more, they can hear and understand English being spoken. The more they observe appropriate pitch and intonation, stress and the sounds of both individual words and those which blend together in connected speech. Listening texts are good pronunciation models. In other words, and the more students listen, the better they get, not only at understanding speech but also at speaking themselves. It in this worth remembering that successful spoken communication depends not just on our ability to speak but also on the effectiveness, the way we listen. And the second point is different kind of listening. Kinds of listening. There are two kinds, intensive and extensive. Intensive listening is different from extensive listening. In that student listen specifically in order to work on listening skill in order to study in the way in which English is spoken. It usually takes place in the classroom or language laboratories and typically occurs when the teacher are present to guide students through any listening difficulties and point them to areas of interest. And there are also listening sources. A lot of listening is experienced from recorded extract on CD, tapes, or via MP3 players of some kind. Recorded extracts are quite distinct from live listening, the name given to real life, face-to-face encounters in the classroom. To some extent, all teacher talk is live listening. But in particular, the term live listening is used to refer to a situation in which the teacher bring visitor into the class. Or if this is not possible, will place different character for the student to talk and listen to. The main advantage of live listening over recorded extract is that the student can interact more with the speaker on the basis of what they are saying. And the next point is listening levels. Authentic speech is a speech not spoken just for language learners in order to, in other words, is it language spoken for native or competent speaker of English with no concession made for the learners. So authentic speech is for native speaker uh, or competent speaker of English. In authentic speech is like a not real, well, which doesn't sound at all like the real thing. So maybe it's not have accent sound. It's not it the sounds or their accent is not like native. Yeah, you like that. But authentic speech is often too difficult for lower level students and inappropriate for use with them. But a student will help can help student teacher can help student to listen and understand authentic English as soon as often as they can. Oh yeah, the more recorded in the radio or in the internet on the internet, it is the example for authentic speech. And the next is listening skills. Students need to be able to listen to a variety of things in a number of different ways. In the first place, they need to be able to recognize paralinguistic clues such as intonation in order to understand mood and meaning. They also need to be able to listen for specific information such as times, platforms, platform numbers, etc., and sometimes for more general understanding when they are listening to a story or interacting in social conversation. The next is listening principle. There are 6 principles for teaching listening, such as encourage students to listen as often as much as possible, help students prepare to listen, once may not be enough, encourage students to respond to the content for all of a listening, not just to take language. Different listening stage demand different listening tasks, and the last is good teacher exploit listening text to the full. The first principle is encourage students to listen as often as much as possible. The more students listen, the better they get at listening and the better they get at understanding pronunciation and at using it appropriately themselves. And the second principle is help students prepare to listen. Students need to be made ready to listen. This means that they will need to look at pictures, discuss the topic, or read the question first. For example, in order to be in a position to predict what is coming. And the third principle is one may not to be enough. There are almost no occasion when the teacher will play an audio track only once. Students will want to hear it again to pick up the things they missed the first time. And we might tell will want to them to have a chance to study some of the language feature on tape. And the fourth principle is encourage students to respond to the content of the listening, not just to the language. So an important part of a listening sequences is for teacher to draw out draw out the meaning of what is being said, discern what is intended, and find out what impression it makes on the students. And the fifth principle, different listening stage demand different listening tasks. So because there are different things teacher want to do with a listening text. Teacher need to set different tasks for different listening stage. This means that for the first listening, the task may need to be fairly straightforward and general. And the last principles is good teacher exploit listening text to the full. If the teacher asks student to invest time and emotional energy in a listening text, and if they themselves have spent time choosing and preparing listening sequence, then it makes sense to use the audio track or live listening experience for as many different applications as possible. And the next is listening sequences. The following listening sequences are pitched at different levels. As with all other skill-based sequence, they will often lead into work on other skills or present opportunities for language study and further activation for some kinds. And the next is more listening suggestion. The first is jigsaw listening, second is message taking, third is music and sound effect, news and other radio genres, poetry, stories, video and audio. Video is rich than audio. Speaker can be seen, their body movement give clues as to meaning, so the clothes they wear, their location, etc. Background information can be filled in individually. Therefore, particular techniques are especially appropriate for language learners and are often used with video footage. The first is play the video without sound. Student and teacher discuss what they see and what clues it gives them, and then they guess what the character are actually saying. And the second is play the audio without the picture. So this serves reverse the previous procedure. While the student listen, they try to judge where the speakers are, what they look like, what's going on, and etc. And the third is freeze frame. Teacher press the pause button and ask the student what's going to happen next. The last is dividing the class in half. Half the class face the screen, the other half sit with their backs to it. So maybe that's enough for me, and sorry for my mistake, and thank you for watching this video, and see you.